Hi, everybody. Welcome to the podcast episode number 10. And a very happy new year to all of you. Uh, Today is 5th of January. It's Wednesday and time is 1:13 p.m. India. It's winters. It's New Delhi and it's raining outside. So I don't remember the last podcast episode. I don't remember the date, but I think it was on 29th and today is 5th. Meanwhile, I was working on my Hindi podcast episode and it is very, very interesting to know that the topic of that podcast episode was is Main Ravan Hoon, which means I am Ravan. And if you guys don't know who Ravan is, so I should tell you that Ravan is a character from Hindu mythology, Ramayana, and Ravan is a sort of a devil. Okay, so in case you are interested, you can go and listen to my Hindi podcast episode, Main Ravan Hoon, in Kuch Kehna Hai Mujhe series of podcast episode. Okay, it is available everywhere where these podcast episodes are available, be it Apple, Spotify, anywhere. Okay, so now moving on to this podcast episode, and I gave a lot of thought. I was like, okay, what to make? And the topic today of this podcast episode is what they did and why they did. Now, today we are going to discuss about psychology behind decision making. Okay, psychology of decisions or making choices. So now what I think is choice is our ability to make decisions when presented with two or more options. The psychology of choice explores why we subconsciously make the decisions we do, what motivates those decisions, and what needs these decisions are meant to satisfy. Every decision is meant to satisfy some needs which we have. I don't know about you, but I get stressed when someone asks me uh, what I want to have for lunch, because I don't want to make such a decision. I would rather prefer somebody choosing it for me. We live in an unprecedented age, and this age is of options, and that can make choice difficult. Plus, the kind of connectivity we have, because if you offer me something, I would definitely come back and say, hey, look, this restaurant is giving me 15% more discount. So why not choose this than that? So connectivity again plays a major role in what kind of decisions we make. Okay, connectivity also leads to convenience. Okay, we as human beings, the world is becoming complex. Everything is so complicated that when we are provided with n number of choices, we are like, we get switched off. Our mind gets switched off and we are like, okay, let me not do anything. I don't want to make any decision. Okay, rather I would sit here and do nothing about it. So in this age of complexity and everything, connectivity, accessibility, is very, very important. Everybody is mentally becoming lazy. Okay, also the complexity of failing to make a right choice or right decision, the consequences are so difficult, so complex in these days. It is there is a financial strain, there is emotional strain, there is n number of strains. If you make a wrong decision, the baggage is very, very heavy, and hence either we become escapist or we uh, choose something which is easy. Okay, so in this age, in today's age, the topic of being right or wrong while we make a decision is no more of relevance. The decision is made basis the consequences. If something turns out to be positive, what are the consequences? If something turns out to be negative, what are the consequences? In whichever way the consequences are has a light baggage should be chosen. Okay, because everybody is thinking that there's lots of baggage, and now what can I do to reduce the baggage? How can we escape the situation? Okay, how can we feel light? Okay, because in major of the situations we can't change our boss, we can't change the electricity bill, we have to pay it. We can't change our parents, we can't change our spouse, of course. Changing a spouse is again comes with loads of baggage. And we can't change our children, of course, there is no such law. So what do we do? So these kind of situation where we can do something about it, our decisions or our choices are majorly driven by fear. uh, Now, why fear? Fear of not making a wrong decision. Okay, and in order to decide, uh, psychology says that we need to feel. People need to feel in order to decide. If you can't feel, then you can't make a decision. There is something called VMPFC. V and M is written in small and PFC is caps. VMPFC, which is called mentromedical prefrontal cortex, and it's in front part of the brain which regulates fear. Okay, and it stops us from continuously being afraid in certain situations. So when our mind is clear of the fear, we are able to make decisions. Okay, only then we are ready to make decision. So how can we alter a decision? We are more likely to persuade people to take an action if you understand how they are feeling about the decision and feed their feeling. Now, this is a very important point. We, which I had never heard before. I read it, of course, when I was studying, and I thought how interesting it is to understand that whenever we decide something, we need to feel something. Okay, and for making a decision, we need to remove fear. And we are already blessed with a part in our brain. The front part of the brain has something which can remove our fear, which can regulate our fear, so that we can make a decision. Okay, and how can we uh, persuade somebody, or how can we convince somebody that you need to do this? It can be done only by feeding the feeling. Okay, that if you do this, for example, if you do this, you will be loved more, or you will be comfortable, or your parents can visit, any word which can uh, drive lots of feeling within that person. Okay, and then that person will be ready to make a decision. By looking at brain activity while making a decision, researchers could also predict what choice people would make 7 to 10 seconds before they themselves were even aware of feeling that drove that decision. Okay, many a times we are ourselves not aware of our processes. We are just ignorant. We don't know what kind of process, what is driving our decisions. We think, oh, we have analyzed, we have researched, we did all our checks. Okay, we got so many logic, we went through so many data points, now we are ready to make a decision. But it is only what we speak, it's not true. Okay, we always want to come across as a very logical or a very analytical person, or person who is very balanced and who gives a lot of thought before making a decision, but that's not true. Okay, research says that even you are not aware of what kind of decision you are going to make. You don't understand your process. Okay, and the researchers can predict your decision 7 to 10 seconds before that decision is made. Okay, so now I think it is very, very clear after this that um, if we are logically trying to persuade somebody, or if we are getting into rounds of arguments, everything goes in vain, because the person who is going to make a decision doesn't know what is driving that decision and what that decision is going to be. Okay, so whatever energy we are putting, okay, we are putting on someone, okay, or we are betting on someone, all goes in vain. Okay, so that is very, very critical. And the feeling that we want everybody to think that, oh, we have weighed all our options, we have weighed all our opportunities, is uh, is the key to answering the question. Like if you come and ask me, oh Preeti, hey, tell me, why did you decide to record a podcast episode on so and so topic? And I will tell you, oh, I researched, I studied, and step one was this, so step two should be this, or the ninth episode was about this, or 10th episode should be about this, and I'll give you the hell, all, everything, hell lot of logic I can give. Okay, why I'm so sound and balanced and everything. Okay, and I want you, definitely I want you to believe that. Okay, but that's not true. Okay, all our decisions are based on feelings, how I was feeling in that moment when I was making a decision that, hey, I need to record this episode as my 10th episode. Okay, so this is very, very interesting, and hence I decided that I should do a podcast episode on why they did and what they did, or you can say what they did and why they did. Sounds better. There is a, I don't know if you're aware of, but it's my duty to update that there's actually a neuron that fires up in the brain that triggers people to take actions when the brain decides it is confident of a decision. Okay, so that means there is a neuron, and it gives us confidence to make a decision, in short. Okay, now why do we need to feel confident while making a decision is very, very important. So I would say that we already have a feeling, we want to make a decision, there are n number of people sitting and trying to persuade me, but I've made up my mind. I only need confidence to share my decision, not to make my decision. Okay, it's uh, not necessarily based on the amount of information collected, it's a feeling of confidence. Okay, so now what can you do? Can you feed feeling for me to make a decision? No, that was past. I've already made my decision. So that kind of feeding of feeling is not going to work. Now you can feed the feeling of confidence within me, so that I come ahead and I share my decision. Okay, so that neuron is triggered, it fires up and it gives me confidence, and I'll come and say, hey, I want to share something with you, I've decided something. Okay, again, advertising is all about pushing, and it is all about giving us overwhelming amount of data, and our conscious mind is tired, bogged down, it can't process any of those, and our subconscious mind, which is a smarter version of us, comes across and says, hey, conscious mind, you take a rest. Okay, you take a chill pill and I will decide for you. And the subconscious or the unconscious mind starts making decision. Okay, And there are two types of decisions. One is value based, and the mm, other is habit based, which is deep inside the brain. Okay, and the value based is in the frontal cortex. It is called orbitofrontal cortex. So if the conscious mind says, hey, look, I'm tired, okay, when we say, those instances when we say, my brain is not working right now, I can't decide, okay, you do what you want to do, then in that moment our conscious mind tells our subconscious mind, hey buddy, I am overloaded, can you please do this for me, thank you so much in advance. And then the subconscious mind comes into play and says, okay, now I will take the decision. So now you are aware that how your conscious mind and your subconscious mind switches. Okay, now what is happening these days when people are given too many choices? Okay, then they don't choose anything at all, they because the feeling is very overwhelming, and overwhelming is not a positive word. Overwhelming word is used with being anxious, okay, and anxiety is not a good state of being, okay. So uh, so we decide, our conscious mind says, oh my god, there are lots of choices and I don't want to act on those, so I'll quit it, it's better not to take any decision, okay. So people usually what they want, they do want choices, but don't want lots of choices, they want little bit, 3 4 types of choices, 2 to 3 or 4 choices, and they are good to go, and then they make decision and they feel better about it, okay. When people are put in a familiar situation, their decisions are often fast and automatic, okay, based on long time experience with what works and what doesn't, okay. So it is similar to Supreme Court or High Court or any kind of court pronouncing a decision, okay, giving a decision based on past experience, okay, what we call as case study, okay. So referring to a case study and deciding something is really fast and automatic. When people are put in a new situation, their decisions are based on weighing potential benefits and risks. They are more likely to make a mistake and face negative consequences, okay, of course, because they don't know how to deal that situation, they don't know what is up next, okay, what kind of processing will be required there, so they are completely unaware of the situation. So logically also, if you see the uh, percentage of making error or mistake is huge, okay. So what do we do then? We critically think, we analyze, we take opinion, okay, and then we try to make a informed decision. And when we make a informed decision, it is based on facts and not on intuition, okay. So the what we do then, we reduce the chances of error when we make an informed decision, okay. And it is also important to avoid the common pitfalls, okay. Mm, that means too much of opinion, or opinions are also we need to segregate, are they only opinions or are they opinions backed with facts, okay, because that can considerably alter the course of my action, okay. That can also considerably decide the amount of error, the amount of wrong decision, I'm going to make. So that is a very important point. We take opinions, so from who are you taking those opinion, okay, is very important. And as a human being, because we live in a busy world, we are pushed so much of data, information, statistics, that we are all tired, And that is why there also comes a point when we have fatigue. Okay. uh, Now that state of fatigue of brain before making a decision is, what is it doing? It is ruining the chances of uh, it is ruining the chances of taking, referring to the past failures or errors. Okay, so there is a chapter, for example, called Past Errors, Experiences, Mistakes, and More. Okay, and now because I'm all tired, okay, because I've taken so much of data in my brain, now I'll say, okay, let's skip this, you know, because I'm already experiencing fatigue. Now I can't go back to past and evaluate. So let's skip it. Okay, so that also defines the error of decision. Okay, the wrong choice which I'm going to make is again very, very obvious. Okay, because that will definitely affect my decision. Again, the real world problems are very, very complicated, you know. If you say that, hey, I'm going to get married, now that is not as simple as you think, because uh, any scenario can change your life path, the finances, the emotions, the passive emotions, the active emotions, the mm, the way of communicating, the way of handling stress, n number of people involved in that situation, because when you're going to get married there are n number of people involved. Okay, everybody's action, emotion is indirectly or directly impacting you or your better half. Okay, so hence the real world problem is very, very complicated. Okay, it is tough to think objectively. Okay, when emotions, feelings, all those kind of variables come into play, then what happens? Then the objectivity is compromised. Okay, we start talking at lengths, we start talking subjectively than objectively. Okay, our brains are naturally wired to reduce that complexity by using mental shortcuts. Now, there is a very nice term called heuristics, and that is called mental shortcuts. Okay, and there is a term called representatives. Representatives means something uh, called statistical blind spots. Okay, where you become stereotyped, where you ignore statistics. You would say, no, 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 no. I'm a stereotyped person. I'll go by this. Okay, that is called representatives. Anchoring is the another term, and it says tendency to stay close to the starting point when making an estimate. Okay, so what kind of estimate? I would say base point. Whenever we make a decision, we tend to think of the reference point, the base point. If you have taken a wrong base point or a reference point, the whole conversation goes haywire and the decision making process goes fundamentally wrong. Okay, so in many situations, researchers have observed that people take a wrong base point or a wrong estimate from the base point. Okay, the estimate is the likelihood of an event based on the ease with which it comes to mind or its availability. Now, the estimate has also been defined here. It says that because the world is complex, we are living in a complicated scenario, we are experiencing overwhelming feelings. Now, what we want to do? We want to only think about easy things, ready to eat, ready to go, ready to move, DIY, do it yourself, in that kind of era we are. Okay, so our mind also can only think of things which is easily available, easy to come in mind. Okay, I don't have to, oh, I would not prefer walking deep into the memory lane. Okay, something which is handy, that kind of thing when it comes to mind. And when the estimate is based on these easy to come thoughts, easy available memory, easily available memory, I would say, then the estimate is definitely going to be wrong, and the decision making is of course wrong. Okay, there is also a term called effect heuristic, which means tendency of people to assess probabilities based on how they feel towards particular options. Okay, now when we have analyzed, taken the right reference point, taken the right estimate, taken opinions from people who should we take opinions from. Uh, we have done everything which is unbiased, everything which is logical, everything which is sound. Okay. Again, the in the end, we think about a thing like as a feeling object. We tend to think at a thing or a person as an object and put all our feelings across, and we want to see, okay, what kind of feeling do I get when I think of this object or when I think of this person. Okay, we so finally we evaluate from that point of view, and if we think, oh, this is good, we go for it. Okay, so in the end, feelings comes into play, and then the final, I would say, the gate crasher is the feeling which decides what to decide. Now, what can we do to make a good decision would summarize this podcast episode, because we have understood a bit of everything, why we do and what we do, or why they do and what they do. Um, I think writing a note to self, okay, like my priorities with emotions and my priorities without emotions, okay, will definitely help. Five things I would do if I keep my feelings aside, and five things I would definitely do because I can't keep my feelings aside, is a very important note to self before making any decision. Okay. Second, I would say, there is a psychology behind mm, overestimating. Okay, usually we are every each one of us is very very overconfident when it comes to making predictions. Okay, we have limited knowledge, but we think no, 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 we have accurate knowledge. We know we can perform 80, but in our mind we think we can perform 120. Okay, so there is our thoughts about our knowledge and our thoughts about our performance is bloated. Okay, so it is very important to take advice or take opinion from somebody cares about you, genuinely cares about you. Okay, so that person can show you mirror. Okay, that hey, you think you can do 12, but I think you should count it as 8. Okay, because that will save you and that will save us. So that is a very important conversation. Again, when you keep your overconfidence aside and you can adjust your behavior and thinking accordingly, the chances of failure is incredibly reduced. Okay, that is very important. And mm, last and the most important point is familiarity breeds comfort. Okay, we want to always go close to something we are familiar about, which is comfortable. In the end, we think about a good night's sleep, a burger from the next door shop, which is very very comforting, you know that kind of thing, which drives our emotions, which drives our decision making. Okay, we know that a friend of ours is cheating, and a friend of ours is shrewd or naive or something, I don't know, but it's hurting me. This friendship is hurting me. But in the end, when I have evaluated all my options, and now what makes me comfortable, that friend definitely makes me comfortable. That friend is definitely familiar. Okay, for meeting that friend, I don't need to call, I don't need to get ready, I don't need to go and get a bouquet, I don't have to do anything about it, and it comes easy. Okay, so that definitely, as a decision maker, I will definitely decide upon that person. Okay. And so we have to avoid this. Okay, why we are trying to understand this? Once we understand this, we accept this, we will try to avoid this, we will try to fight against the habit. The old habits die hard, we say. We will try to uh, work on ourselves. Okay, so I think this is our new year resolution. This should be our new year resolution, to understand new ways, to understand how little things affect the main decision making process. Okay, and how, by making a good decision about even simple and small things, will definitely change the course of our life. Okay, and yeah, identifying habits and removing it is again very important. Okay, so anything which is simple, which is automatic, which works on a auto mode, needs to be avoided. And this should be our new year resolution, to just tweak your decision making habit, just tweak your choices. Okay, now, because after this, it's it's 30 minutes now. So after this 30 minutes of brainstorming about how to make a decision, I think this new year, this is the right time to think through and take good decisions in your life. Make good decisions, change the course of your life. And yeah, definitely write back and tell me, how did you feel about this podcast episode, and what next would you would like me to discuss on my podcast episodes, which is initially it was the unedited journey, but I thought through and then I was like, no, I need to rename it, and hence I renamed it to Go Unedited. So yeah, I'll be waiting for your emails. I am really thrilled when it comes to making a podcast episode. And right now, if you ask me, I'm feeling a bit low because of this weather. But yeah, I'm really excited that finally I did this podcast episode. So do write to me at Preeti, PRRITI, @blinkofan eye.in. And very soon I will come up with my next podcast episode. And my decision making is definitely affected by the feeling which I am being fed. So now, stay tuned and be aware of the feeling which is fed to you and the feeling you are feeding to others. Thank you so much. Love you all. Bye. Take care and have a nice and great year ahead. Bye.